So tell me more about MOMentum. I love the name, love the idea. It's very, I mean, it's unfortunate that I'm saying this, but it's so innovative and I've never heard of anything like it. But as soon as you shared it with me, I'm like, what? Like, yeah, this makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it does. Thank you. I'm so freaking excited about going full time with this. So we already figured out my type A personality. And I think 7 years ago, when my first son was brought into this world, the goals I had set for myself, the focus I had on my career, the external validation that fueled me dissipated. In fact, I left my maternity leave early because I had this beautiful child in my arms that I didn't know how to take care of. I felt very insecure. I felt very incompetent. I knew how to be an employee. I knew how to get things done. I did not know how to be a mom. And I was incredibly insecure about that, which I think most moms are. And you learn with your baby. That's how it works. But I thought that I would deliver my beautiful son and then I would know what to do. And turns out you don't. So I left maternity leave early, actually, to go back to work because that was in a space I could control, I could perform in, versus at home, I didn't know what I was doing. I look back and I really want to hug that version of myself, right? That was a really insecure version of myself. So fast forward, I have another son who was born May 2020. And I don't know what you were doing May 2020, but I was crying, isolated, alone, scared out of my mind, having to go to the hospital telling me, doctors telling me if I introduced my son to my parents, right? They're his grandparents, that I would be risking everybody's death, right? So it got to a point where I just felt like every decision I was making was a life or death decision, whether that is, do I order takeout? Life or death, right? Do I go visit my mom who, gosh, in those early years, you need a community of women, or those early days, right? You just need people to wrap around you, especially when you have, at this point, I had a 3-year-old who is a lot.
Wait, so tell me, your pandemic 2020, you have 2 kids.
Yes.
And how old are they?
They were 3 and an infant.
Oh my gosh.
And I kept telling myself, but by the time my maternity leave is over, the world will go back to normal, right? We'll be back.
And how long is maternity leave?
It was 12 weeks. It was 12 weeks. And I also want to mention that my first maternity leave, unpaid. I'm really proud of my organization to switch that the second one was paid, which I'm really grateful for. But my first one was unpaid, right? So I was, how old was I? 29. So, to take 12 weeks of unpaid leave is hard on a family.
That's significant.
And I've said all this story without mentioning, I have a really amazing partner in this, a good father, but when you're in the throes of all of it, we were not our best selves. So all to say, hard. So I became stupid obsessed with the lack of resources that exist for moms, because I'm thinking, here I am with a good partner, a true partner. I am white, educated in America. I am upper middle class. I have both sets of grandparents in my life, and they're active in my kids' life. I have every single privilege there is to raise my children. And this is the hardest thing I have ever done. And I couldn't help but think, what the hell are other mothers doing?
Right.
What the hell are single moms doing? How are you doing this? And I just began offering services that was just, reaching out to moms that I knew were struggling. We would host workshops and community building, mainly in daycares. And this is kind of where it all began, because I just, I knew that what I needed was community. I needed understanding, And I knew that my identity, which I'm growing and I'm shifting and I'm proud of, but I knew my identity was really focused on my career. And I believe it's very powerful for women to stay in the workforce for their economic security, right?